You want to turn that light on and see if it changes the lighting any?
What sucks is
There we go. That's good.
I had to wheel all the way back.
Excuse me, there is a message.
Now
We put baby in the corner.
we put baby in the corner. Oh. The camera?
The camera. Did you bring that thing that I told you to get out of the car?
What thing?
You went out to the car and got it and brought it back in.
No, I didn't.
You killing me,
Walk of
Smalls.
shame.
Killing me, Smalls. What's up, everybody? What's up? Hey, Paul. I'm so glad you're here.
I don't know where it is.
Oh, okay. You don't know where it is. All right. Mark, what's up? Just watched Dirty Dancing today for the first time. First time, that'd be kind of scary.
What's this right here, Mom?
I don't know. What is that?
What's that?
I don't know. What is that? All right, so we're going to let a couple people get in here before we get rocking and rolling. See who all did.
Now we get to be fun.
I'm so excited that she's in here. So glad to see you. How you doing, dear? Obviously, you can tell my good-looking cohort is not here. So instead of the large version, you get the McNugget version. April said, "Big J out, little J in."
The better half.
Mm-hmm. You look just like him. You can't deny him, can you?
I can if I want to.
Oh, it won't work. It doesn't work.
What a bit.
Hanging in. You know, I heard somebody say something I haven't heard in forever. And it said, I'm hanging on like a hair in a biscuit or something like that.
You could go.
Got like a hair in a biscuit or something like that. Des is prettier. Definitely a mini-me. Definitely. All right, so Wanderlust, glad to see you guys. Oh, look who else is in here. Deza! Oh, man. It has been a day.
I'm tired.
It's been a very stressful couple of days. We're not going to talk about all the details, but suffice it to say, the stress level has been the last couple of days.
So high it's out of frame.
Huh? Yeah, so high it's out of frame. So I'm going to show you some cool tricks. If you do like this.
How about you try like this?
Oh, wait. Hold on. Like, I can't get it to do.
No, like
How
this.
do I do-
Okay. Like
No,
this.
I don't think it'll do it like that. It won't do it. I don't know. It's like you gotta do like. I'm having such a hard time with this right now, and I don't even know why. That's how stressful this day's been. But the thumbs up, it should make you do. There you go. Look at that. Isn't that cool? And one thumb up should give you just a regular thumb. Or maybe it won't do it. No, maybe not. Maybe somebody else has to do that. I don't know. It's weird. So anyway, this is so a Gen Z thing. Yeah.
Hey,
So, yeah, I don't know what all that's about, but I can't get it to do the little heart thing. It won't do that. There it is. See?
That was painful to watch. So painful.
It won't do the thumbs up, though. I don't know why the thumbs up's not working. And then there was another one. I can't remember what it was. But the 2 thumbs up makes the fireworks. There's something with balloons. I can't remember what the balloons are. Like if you put hands up, maybe? No? I don't know. Anyway. Oh, look who else is. Holy cow! Look who's in here!
No, I'm out.
Peace. Get back in here.
Peace. I can't deal with that. Too much.
What about the middle? I am not going to try the middle finger. I don't even know what the middle finger does. Mama Mitzi is here too. Cool. You know, I got a friend request from her earlier this week, and I had to check and make sure that it wasn't, you know, like, because, you know, we've been getting all these weird friend requests lately of, like, duplicates, and so I want to make sure it wasn't, like, a duplicate. Person? Yeah. So what's everybody been up to this week? It's been a time here. We've been clawing our way through the week this week. We at the beginning of the week we had to go help a friend of ours because of all the rain that we had. She had her chickens were just covered up in mud and wet chicken shavings, pine shavings and chicken feed, and it was
let's call it what it is. It was chicken poo. It was chicken poo.
Yeah, it was pretty bad, and so we went over there and helped her get those moved. Learned some lessons about overbuilding. Sometimes we want to overbuild and things get really heavy and then you can't move them.
It's harder to move them.
And that's definitely something to think about. Some of you guys that are in here that are planning for the future, I think Doug and Stacy kind of started the whole idea of aging. Mm-hmm. Like what did he call it? Like aging out or
no,
not aging out. Kind of he said that you have to age in place. That's it. Age in place. So you have to kind of think of the things that you're doing on your homestead and kind of figure out how you're going to do those when, you know, not your 30-year-old self or your 40-year-old self, but your 60-year-old self, your 70-year-old self. Definitely start putting those things into effect now, so that when you don't have big, strong oxes like you guys here.
I was about to say, see, I don't have that problem because I don't have to worry about 60 or 70 yet.
Not yet.
And not like you.
But at the same time, wouldn't it be cool if when you start yours, if you decide to start a homestead, wouldn't it be cool to already know how to build stuff to where you could age in place and not have to redo it later?
Yeah.
You know, LogOx
is like me, no chance. No chance whatsoever.
But you're gone. That's not the point.
Not with that beer belly.
But so that's one of the things that we learned this week is that, and it wasn't something that we did, but it was definitely a lesson to kind of put in the back of your head and go, okay, you know, remember, I'm fixing to find out how my 70-year-old self does. I bet. Even though I'm still in my 40s, you know, sometimes my body feels like it's in its 80s. So, especially like my knees are not in the best of shape. So, it's definitely something that we're definitely having to kind of keep in mind. So, is there anything you want to share that happened this week?
I don't know. What am I allowed to share?
Not what happened yesterday.
What happened yesterday?
Exactly. Me speaking stuff into existence.
Oh. So, what had happened is that yesterday was what, Friday? It was Friday, right?
You can't talk about that.
Why can't I talk about that?
Because the person that has the stuff doesn't know yet, and so if that person were to watch... No.
Anyways,
We're speaking in code
Third
here.
language.
Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and, so we had some crazy weather this week. We started out with frost earlier in the week, and now it's like 70-something degrees. Has anybody else been experiencing these warm temperatures? I know I overheard Misty talking about from Mama Z's Texas Kitchen. She was talking about how they were getting ready to have some pretty crazy storms come through.
This will hopefully be my last day. Fingers crossed.
That's good. I'm glad he said I finished. Mm-hmm. So, does that mean you're coming up tomorrow night?
There.
Or does it mean that you're going to be sleeping it off after your celebration tonight?
That's the real question.
Yeah. So has anybody... What did I just ask? Oh, the weather.
The weather.
The weather. We had a little warm weather now and then, but the Arctic stuff was horrible. Yeah. I mean, we definitely had some days where I had to go make sure that the strawberries were covered up pretty good because I was afraid that it was going to get a little too cold.
Your girl took care of that.
Yeah. I test Monday and Tuesday, but I'll still probably come tomorrow. Okay.
Yay.
Okay, we got to pull a roast out for tomorrow.
No more pork chops.
Huh?
No more pork chops.
So we got a video coming out tomorrow. If you missed last Sunday's video, we showed you how to break up. Hey, Henry, what's up? We showed you how to break up the pig once you've cut it in half, and you've got those two halves of the carcass. What do you do next? So you definitely, if you don't know and you're interested in that at all, it was a very informative, very good video on how to do that. Now this week's coming up that I'm still currently working on that should be out tomorrow. It's already filmed. I just got to cut and paste, edit it all out. There's a lot of really good tight shots, so I'm trying to make sure that you guys get to see those. But that one will be on breaking those primal pieces up into like your pork chops, your ribs, your hams, your hocks, all that stuff, bacon. So, and then tomorrow, I believe, we're supposed to be pulling a ham out of the brine. And so we'll be showing you how we do that, like how we make the brine, the whole process. And you'll be able to see, and you'll be able to see what we do with it, before and after. So that's exciting as well. This morning we had a very delicious breakfast. What was our breakfast this morning, Ladessa?
We had our own yogurt from our cow's milk. We made it, yesterday?
Yeah, so we made it all day yesterday. We started it first thing in the morning, and by the time we went to bed last night, it was kind of. So we went ahead and just let it sit overnight, and so we started it up. Just got it hanging up in a muslin bag this morning.
It was good, but it was a questionable.
So the texture was kind of weird.
It tasted like yogurt water.
No, it did not. No, it didn't taste like the texture. Now one thing, I don't know how many of you have ever made yogurt from raw milk. That's a question I have for you. Has anybody made yogurt from raw milk?
Blaze, you don't count.
Well, Blaze might have, and if he has, then he can tell me what he remembers.
He's probably made it here.
Well, I don't remember ever having it here. But I'm curious if anybody has made it and what their experience was with it. Now, I've read a couple of places when I was getting my recipe stuff together. I did notice that it was a little bit different than what you get in the store. Now, I know that there's always that, like, what you get in the store is not, you know, what we're shooting for, right? We're trying to do this, you know, the wholesome way.
Well, sometimes things that are in the store are like yogurt was like the big step for me.
Yeah.
The last time y'all made yogurt, it was.
Well, yeah. So the last time we made yogurt, it was kind of clumpy. It was good.
Hold on.
The flavor was good.
Hold on. Who here knows about what mastitis is?
Well, you stop.
That's what it looks like to me.
But that was you, because you personally have dealt with mastitis before, and so that was what it reminded you of. Need a special culture. Okay, what special culture? Because we used a regular culture last time, and it was a little, and I think it was because I put the culture in at the wrong time, so I ended up putting more culture in. So I think it was just a little too much culture, so it was kind of clumpy.
Didn't we accidentally like overcook it too?
I don't know. Anyway, this time the flavor's perfect. It's the texture again. It's a little bit thinner. Like it's definitely got some spots where it was, you know, like yogurt, but a lot of it wasn't whey like normal. Like normally the whey is just kind of drips out. And this was kind of like,
I don't know how to describe it.
Well, Carol said when she looked at it, it almost looked like string cheese, even though it's not cheese. Like it was still like, it reminds me of what Trace would look like on the soap, but like it would,
or like slime almost. It looked like Ghostbusters slime.
But it was delicious, and the texture was fine once we, you know, put the stuff in it. They put too much culture in. That's why I'm hip with the kids. They put too much culture in me. Oh my gosh. He hurts my head sometimes. But so I'm asking, what's Mitzi and what is his name? I'm struggling. I can see his face. He's going to have to remind me. I could see it. Mark. His name's Mark.
Are you sure?
Yes, it is Mark.
Positive?
I'm positive.
Are you sure?
I just had to
You sure it's not Matt?
No, it's Mark. Mark, what kind of culture do we need specifically? Because the one I used, like I said, it kind of got the job done, but not all the way.
Well, we also used Greek yogurt too.
I don't think that matters. I really don't think it does. No. You're a dork.
Probably.
Bye, Blaze. See you later. Thanks for dropping by, dude. Appreciate it.
Okay, now that he's gone, we can talk bad about him.
You know he's still hanging in the background, right?
Probably not.
Because he knows that's what you're gonna do. He knows what you're gonna do. Okay, so while we're waiting for that yogurt question, so I got something in the mail, and I'm not used to getting a catalog from them. Normally I just get an email, but this is the company that we get our strawberries from. Now we're not, not strawberries, our strawberries.
I thought we got our strawberries from the other guys. Stark Brothers.
You got them from here. Yep. I'm absolutely positive.
For Corona?
Yes. No. They don't have that in their catalog.
Farmhouse.
Farmhouse on Boone. There's a video on Raw Milk where she talks about it. Alright, I'll have to look at it and see.
Yeah.
But anyway, so Ison's where we get our strawberry plugs from. And they're in Brooks, Georgia, which is not horribly far from here. But it would be a day trip. As I'm looking at this, I'm seriously contemplating going down there and filming down there if they would let. Whoa, how did that happen? Who put a thumbs down? Or did I figure out a way to do that? I don't know. Anyway, so this is their catalog they put out, and apparently I guess they splurged this year because it's their 90th anniversary, which is really cool if you think about it. Like,
that would scare me.
90 years. Like, their parents and grandparents started this nursery and vineyard 90 years ago. And one thing that I thought was really cool is to just think about that idea of legacy. They were saying, you know, they've had several people order from them over the years. And one of the things that they thought was really neat, there was a guy back in 2014, he ordered some pecan trees. And they could tell he was an older gentleman by the sound of his voice. And he asked for the biggest trees that they had since he was 84 years old. And the writer said, I thought he was ambitious for planting pecan trees at this age, but he was wise. The old saying goes, wise is the man that plants a tree, even though he may never sit under its shade. So I kind of thought about that, and I was thinking, you know, that's kind of what Jason and I are trying to do, is we're trying to plant the proverbial tree. Even though we may never see the full fruits of what we're doing now, we're planting that tree and doing all the stuff that we're doing in hopes that our kids and our grandkids, if we should ever have any, would benefit from that. So I think that's a cool, so cool concept to think about is, what are you doing now that can pave the way for, you know, your kids, grandkids, nieces, nephews.
To get righted.
That kind of thing. I'm surprised you guys have never tried the berry plugs or plants from Baker Creek. Sounds like one of Kevin's services. I know, right? I was thinking that because, you know, it's funny how God works. Because, Luke, I was sitting here when I was reading it, and I read that. All I could think of what Kevin, our pastor at our church, has been saying, that there were generations before us that laid the foundations of things so that the future generations could benefit from it. And I didn't really apply it to, I applied it, of course, to our church, but I wasn't really thinking about it as far as our farm and how we're doing things here. It's not just about aging in place. It's about leaving a legacy here that our children and grandchildren can benefit from. And one of those things, and Jason and I haven't talked about any of this yet, so if you're watching, honey, sorry, I'm springing this on you through the camera. But I do think we need to consider doing some new muscadine vines. These ones that we have are definitely older, and they are, in my opinion, out of control. I mean, we trim them back every year, but there's a part of me that wonders if we would go ahead and replant, you know, a few each year. If that would be, you know, a good choice, because again, you're wanting to leave a legacy behind for future generations to benefit from. There were several pecan trees on this property, and we cut them down or knocked them over because they were all beetle infested, and they weren't really, you know, throwing off pecans that were really worth anything.
Or if we were getting any, we weren't getting them fast enough because of stupid squirrels.
Well, I think we got the answer to the squirrels now, huh? Dessa's become a pretty good shot. So anyway, one thing I thought, okay, so Ison's, I know that Ison's does muscadines, but I don't think I truly understood how much Ison's
They
does.
do a lot of
like
muscadines.
They apparently are breeding their own varieties. And so that's why I'm kind of interested to go down there, because I'm really interested to see, like, they've been granted at least 32 patents.
Jeez.
On muscadine varieties. So, like, I can't even. So I'm going to try and get in touch with them next week to see if they would have any problem with us coming down and filming and kind of getting a little bit of a look. But I always love to look at catalogs because, when a company's making a catalog, they want to inform you enough to make you want to buy the product, right? So they usually want to give you some pretty good and useful information. And I was reading through this catalog, and one thing I did not know, Alexa, cancel, is that it says, and most soft fruit is like this. You usually have to have a male and a female or something like that to be able, yeah, it does that every once in a while. You have to have male and female to be able for them to pollinate. This says if you select a female variety, you must have a self-fertile variety within 50 feet for pollination. One self-fertile plant can pollinate 2 females. Females produce an average of 40 to 60 pounds per vine. Self-fertile plants produce an average of 60 to 80 pounds per vine. A black self-fertile plant can pollinate a bronze female and vice versa. And so there's like all of these different, things, but I didn't realize the difference in just a female plant versus the self-fertile plants. Like, you're talking an extra 20 pounds, right? Isn't that what it, 40 to 60 and 60 to 80? Mm-hmm. So I'm looking at some of these varieties, and here's another thing, and I don't know if Blaze is still kind of hanging around, but they actually have some University of Georgia varieties. So
all you have to say is UGA.
Yeah, they're UGA patents, patent pending and UGA patents. So I think that's pretty cool too. There's the Hall, the Lane, the Polk, and the Ruby Crisp. So we're certainly, I'm going to get in touch with them and see if we can go down. So be looking for that video, because I imagine that would be a really cool
What I would be interested to know is, what do we have?
I'm really not sure, because I was looking, and see, that's the other reason why I want to start replacing them, because then I would know for sure what we have, I mean, like, when you look at some of these pictures, I mean, they all look the same from the pictures. Like, that actually looks like
I was thinking ours. More of.
And I do believe we have a couple different varieties.
Yeah.
Because we have some that push off some smaller, like a large cluster, but smaller grapes. And then we have some that have smaller clusters, but the grapes on them are large. Like super large.
Hockey pucks.
So I think there are probably a couple of different varieties, but I do think it would be worth, maybe just a couple a year, because these say that they're like $12 or $13 a piece. You can actually get them, they call it 2-year plus, where they're pretty much 4 to 6 feet in length, and usually you'll be close to reaching the top wire of your trellis when you plant them. So with that, you'd be able to almost start training it. So I'm thinking you know, we may splurge the extra $2-ish to be able to have those older plants. But I really do think I'm probably going to start, you know, chipping away at that. Maybe just a couple each year. Because we have a total of what do we have, 6 on each row?
I would say more like almost 8.
6. Maybe 8. So there's anywhere from 18 to 24
You've heard of crazy chicken, lady.
plants.
I get ready for crazy.
So if we were to do, you know, 2 or 3 a year, it would take us a little while, but I think it would be worth doing, because then if we did, you know, 2 or 3 a year, then as we're pulling those out, we won't really be sacrificing too much. Like, because we have one vine that produces nothing. Like, we get absolutely no grapes whatsoever from it. It literally will flower like it's going to throw grapes, and then they fizzle out. They're gone. So I don't know if that's a male plant. Like, I've not done a whole lot of research, and I can't remember, you know, we've been here 10 years, and I can't remember if it's always been that way. I can't remember if when we first got here, if it had muscadines on it. Do you remember at all?
I was 7 when we got here. 7.
I mean, I feel like you would have memories if it had him or not.
To be completely honest with you, I don't even think it was trimmed back enough for us to even get
for like a year.
At the time.
No, it was, because I remember being a little salty with the owners because they tried to hurry up and pick them before we moved on the property.
But no, I don't ever remember there, like, as far as back as I can remember, I don't ever remember there being
I don't know.
any grapes on there.
The plant gets outrageously big.
It's probably one of the biggest ones we get.
Yeah.
It just does not produce any.
So I don't know.
Which sucks.
Yeah. So, but I would imagine that some of those vines have to be self-pollinating, because
probably
we have enough vines that, like, if that one said it only pollinates like 2 to 3, then we would need several self-fertile ones. So so that's interesting, just to be able to look at that. And, you know, I was just kind of looking at all the different, they have so many different, they even have, like, I was looking at this, they have a chart here, and it shows, like, where they all, like, when you harvest them, the harvest season, the cold hardiness, the disease resistance. But the one I was interested in is it breaks them down by sugar content. So you know which ones are the most sweet. So not surprised there. And then they also had a couple that are like for wine, for jams and jellies. So if you've not visited Ison's on the website and checked them out, like I said, they're not a sponsor of ours yet. But I definitely want to get down there and go visit and see what kind of crazy they're getting into. Yeah, I mean, if you've got enough room to work on 32 different varieties,
then you have enough room to have a little bit more fun with it.
Yeah, so I'm excited about that. So, has anybody got, now we have our new guest, Ladessa, here. Does anybody have any questions for Ladessa?
I'm scared now you've called me out.
I know it. No, I'm just trying to.
First question, how's school going?
That's a question for your sister.
Starting dual enrollment in fall.
Yeah. So Ladessa is aimed at starting dual enrollment in the fall, which means she will be attending online college classes as well as her regular load. She'll probably take an English and a math and maybe a science.
I'll probably do English and science, because math, I'm not ready for college yet.
Yeah, you are.
From what Blaze is saying, it's like, no.
That's a confession time.
Who ate the Nutter Butter?
That's a nasty cough you got there, Dessa. Dad's not there. That's funny. Not really, but I will say this. It's funny. The last time I saw her, she was like a little kid. Now she's a grown-up adult. That was Homestead of America 2019.
Yeah, that was a while ago. Still baking.
Are you still baking sourdough?
Not sourdough, but I'm baking regular bread.
Oh, that reminds me. I gotta go check on my starter.
I'm
gonna go check on her real quick.
Now she's gone. Now we need to talk bad.
Now you talk bad about me. Oh. That's weird.
Floki is like hanging outside of the door right now. Right. Did Floki run away?
Oh, is he in here?
He was trying to be.
So, our sourdough starter died. So, a friend of mine gave me some sourdough starter. And so, we're trying to grow some sourdough starter.
The sourdough starter I gave you?
Yeah. What? I still use the one you gave me. That's awesome.
Yeah. Wow, that's an old starter.
Like 3
years?
3, almost 4.
4, probably
Maybe almost 4.
5.
I don't know. About 4. Wasn't it 2020? Pretty sure it was 2020.
No, it wasn't. Probably almost like 19.
Yeah?
Remember when because we were still hanging out with them religiously, probably when you had your wreck.
No, 2020, I think. Because it was...
Think about it.
No, I know, but what I'm saying is I'm thinking that we started doing all of the sourdough stuff and everything 2020, like the beginning of 2020.
No.
Oh, okay.
2019, 2018.
2019 is when we went to Homesteading Life.
It's 2020.
Yeah.
What she said.
Yeah. Yeah, because 2019 is when we went to Homesteading Life.
And that's
that
where
was
I got
in like
my
August.
first start.
Yeah, so it would have been like the end of 19,
the
beginning of 20, yeah. So
I used to have these like big huge half-gallon jars full of sourdough starter.
Yeah. But I'm trying to
steal it. That's what she's trying to do. She's trying to steal my happiness away.
No, Ladessa is one of these that she gets involved in something and she works it, and then when it's no longer really a challenge for her, she just kind of gets bored with it. But the reason we're jumping back into it, not just because it's delicious, but 2 is because Jason has an intolerance to gluten. And so I was told that sourdough can be a lot easier on people who are, he's not celiac or anything like that, but he just makes his tummy really upset. So we're going to try sourdough again. I actually have a lady that I met back at the Farm Where You Live conference. She makes starter out of what did I tell you?
Potato flakes.
Yeah, so potato flakes.
Yeah, I need to run that rabbit out.
So I just need to like get in touch with her and because she told me I could have some of her starter. So I wanted to try that and see how that worked.
Well,
but
I would assume it would be like your regular starter because like I don't know if she used like actual like potato flakes to make the actual bread.
Yeah, I don't know if she makes it the bread but I'll have to touch base with her because I took some of her bread home and I brought it home here for everybody to try and mainly for Jason to try, and of course he got like half a slice.
That's not true.
Out of the whole.
Homie got a full sandwich.
Okay.
And I'm telling you, Carol sliced the bread like that thick.
But so hopefully we'll be able to make some kind of bread that he can eat every once in a while. The other day we had like avocado toast. And I did get him some like organic whole wheat, and it is whole wheat, not bleached, or unbleached flour. It's whole wheat flour. So far it seems like that's not giving him a hard time. So my intention is once I get this starter going is to see if I can start converting it over to a whole wheat. Because right now it's obvious it's just a regular.
Let me see it. Where did you start this morning?
White. Right there. But it looks like it.
No, so right here. So your starter has gone from.
Yeah, it went up and then flopped back down.
Yeah, it's no longer at its peak anymore.
Right. But that makes sense because at its peak, it gets to, it's at about 4 hours, right? So it happened while we were gone.
Yeah, so.
But that's why they tell you to do that, to put that marker there so that you can see where you started.
Yeah.
But you can see. Well, now that you're spinning it all over the place, you can't see the.
No, you can still see the line. The line's right there.
Can you see? No, I'm talking about this line right here. See where it rose and then it fell back down. So I will discard and feed it again tomorrow. How much did you feed it when you were doing yours?
2 tablespoons of flour.
Hey, Mel. 2 tablespoons? I know you have to do a 1-to-1 ratio. If you do 2 tablespoons, you do 2 tablespoons of water, right?
Milk. It's supposed to be milk.
No, water.
It's supposed to be milk.
Water.
I thought it was milk when you're first starting to feed your starter because it's milk because it's the starter like has to go sour. That's what gives it the sour.
I just saw water.
I'm like pretty sure it's milk.
Oh, well, then I killed the starter.
I'm pretty sure it's milk.
Pretty sure, I don't remember now. I'm pretty sure it was water that I watched.
You can't trust everything on the internet.
Well, when you see it a million times, you have to assume that it's consistent. Somebody's going to come on here and be like, oh my God, Robin, you killed it.
You killed the starter. I mean, it smells like starter. Also, this rag is dirty, Mama.
It's not dirty. It's the ring. Hey, Kim, what's up?
I'm weird. I'm sniffing the starter.
I'm telling you.
I mean, there's not any like bubbles either. There's barely any bubbles on top. When your starter, when it's done with like its peak, there's supposed to be like craters, kind of.
I don't know. Hey, Niana, how are you? Mitzi, are you still in here? What do you use? I'm assuming she probably uses milk. the person that messes with everybody's analytics. I just
Yeah,
want
like
to know.
they're what do you call it? You know this more than I do.
How long does it take to talk about something? And I know I'm bad, but like I'm the same way. Like I talk. Don't know. I'm waiting for one of you that does sourdough to rescue me. I'm interested to see. This lady talks too much. I'm just let y'all know. No milk. Woo-hoo-hoo! Yes.
I'll have to find my stuff from Patty. I thought it was.
I mean, maybe hers was, but
because I always thought that it was.
She said, Andrew has been baking all our sandwich bread for the past 3 months. He wants to start a sourdough starter too. I think it's harder here since it's hotter. No. From what I understand, at least to make the starter, you want it to be warm. And that's what I'm worried about, is that it's cool in our house. The average ambient temperature in here is only in the 60s. So I tried putting it over top of, I tried putting it over top of the wood burning stove, but even then it was still, it's not extremely warm in there, so I may have to put it in the other, in the seed room. But it's too warm in there, isn't it? Yeah, water. Yep. And it's equal parts water and flour. So like if you put in a quarter cup of
milk, then maybe that's
maybe that's in the bread.
No, I never put milk in.
Put quarter cup, like I put a because this starter, there was not much here.
No, there was like in a a pint jar.
It was like a half pint, like
in there.
Yeah, and so I put in a quarter cup and a quarter cup.
So, how old was that starter? Not too old, right?
I don't know if it's Adria's, but I will say it has the smell.
It's got the smell of starter. That's why I was like.
So we just need to be patient with it. You know, one of the things, and I'm gonna tell y'all, if the information is out there. I don't know that I'll ever make an actual video on sourdough. I may show you like what I'm doing with it, but I don't think I'm ever gonna be like, this is how you do it. Maybe 5 years from now or something I may, but like right now I'm just learning. But there was a couple of creators out there that do a really bang up job about explaining, like being able to smell it to know, like I didn't know this, but like you can smell it and know whether it needs to be fed.
Well, not just that, but you can also smell it if it's dying. Like if your sourdough starter is dying, it will have a distinct smell to it.
It's kind of rancid.
And it's hard to explain, but
once you smell
it, you know. And there's some things that if like you fed it the wrong thing, like I think because of how much you fed it,
it's gonna take longer.
It's gonna take it longer. But if you just give it time, it should be okay.
Well, we'll see. I do know that that one of the things that I thought was interesting, they said that if it smells like alcohol, that it's starving. It needs to be fed. So that's, that fermenting smell. I've never, ever even tried sourdough. I feed mine 1 part starter, 1 part water, 2 parts flour. There are lots of awesome videos on sourdough. Okay, so 1 part starter, 1 part.
Did you also give it a little bit of sugar?
Water and 2 parts flour. Well, obviously not, because she didn't put it in that list there. But maybe I'll do that. Maybe maybe.
Uh-oh. You done did it now.
I wonder if I could just start another starter.
So from what I was explaining, why I'm having a hard time of wrapping my proverbial head around this.
Mm-hmm.
I'm guessing it's when you initially start your starter.
Mm-hmm.
Because sourdough starter is sour. It's supposed to be like a mixture sour. Like your starter is almost like sour milk.
Oh.
That's how because I started mine when I accidentally killed it the first time.
Mm-hmm.
I started mine off with just milk, sugar, and flour, and that was it. So
I don't know. All of the videos that I binge watched while I was driving down to go do, and I wasn't watching, I was literally listening. Just had it coming through the car, through the speakers. And I just put it on the...
With your knee like this, holding the steering wheel?
No, I literally put it down in the console and just let it play. But pretty much everyone that I listened to said one part water, one part flour, one part starter. So I don't know if maybe I'll just try and start another starter myself, because this one I was trying to jump ahead of the class to be able to start making bread for Jason. But if I know I have a little bit of time, because the bread that I bought him seemed to be okay, at least for right now, I think I may try. You better go look and see what that is. Something's scratching right outside our window. What is that?
It's Gizmo.
Ah! Gizmo. Our dog. Our great peer. We've been keeping him in. We've been keeping him in the fence.
Hi, Gizmo.
And he's been fine. But it's so funny. If he feels like there's a threat out there, he'll jump the fence and he'll go do his thing, and then he'll show up on the front porch, and he doesn't roam as much as he used to, but if he does, he always comes back, and he usually will hang out on the front porch and be hey guys, I'm out here.
Floki will do that too.
Well, the funny thing is that waiting for Jason to scare Dessa at the window.
No, see, I'm actually the one that does that.
So
now.
we have the window, the curtains up, so you can see right outside the windows. Oh.
And really, I'm more expecting it from coming from that way than I am.
So Niana said that's why I've never tried it. I don't know anyone to get a starter from. If you're interested, Niana, there are so many videos out there about starting your own starter. It has to come from somewhere. So, there's plenty of those. Now, once I have that down, I may make a video on that.
Well, there's not just that, but there's also, I know Patty from Alderman Farms, she dehydrates her sourdough starter to make it,
where you can ship it.
Where you can ship it to places. She's from Hawaii. Where's she from?
Patty?
No, the person that we're talking about.
Oh.
Wants to start
no, that's Niana. She's from Tennessee.
Tennessee. For some reason, my brain hurts.
Rose Red Homestead and Whippoorwill Holler both have good videos on starting a starter. There you go. Yeah, there's quite a few. The girl that I've been watching, I'll tell you who she is. She's a pretty big channel. What is this guy doing on my thing?
Louisiana, she said.
Who's from? No, Patty's from Louisiana. Yes.
Yeah, I mean, we know
No.
that. No.
No, she's Mississippi. Niana is.
Aha.
Oh, she's from Indiana. I'm sorry. She's
You
close
wrong.
to Tennessee. I don't know why I keep thinking she's Tennessee. I said that last week too.
We're running now.
It's not her. What? Okay, one of the ones that I watched, her channel name is Buttered Side Up. That was one of them. And then the other one that I really like, let's see if I can find her real quick. There she is. Mary Grace Bread. She has a lot of shorts and different things that her content, she's got really good content about, and there are a bunch of shorts to kind of tell you, like, what do you do with the starter? What do you do to keep up with your starter? What do you do for your discard? That kind of stuff. Yeah, there's a big difference between having a starter for 3 years and like the one Doug and Stacy, which I think over 100 years old. Yeah, I don't know, and I don't even know how you would verify that, but I'm on the Ohio River. Well, that's cool. That's really cool. Okay, so it's been about an hour. Mm-hmm. It goes by pretty fast,
Very
doesn't
long hour.
Yeah? Did it
Yeah.
feel like a long hour to
No.
you?
Mm.
So do you think that, what do I need to do with this? Do I need to let it sit another day, or do I need to feed it again?
Well, hold on. Very liquidy.
Which I don't understand because, well, what's her name said 2 parts flour, right? 1 part starter, 1 part water, 2 parts flour. So maybe I need to put more flour in it.
No, I think it's just because I think you've got some flour down here in the bottom, actually. You didn't mix it properly.
I need to mix it up a little bit.
Probably
Just
more.
stir it up some.
Yeah. Said feed it again tonight.
Okay.
Yeah, you'll probably need to feed it.
Now, what should I, Arthur, I found it interesting how the old mountain men kept and transported their sourdough starter.
Care to elaborate?
I feel like he will if you ask him to.
Care to elaborate?
But I feel like this is going to be like a...
Cut it out.
Is your dog okay? Did you feed him? Silly.
Do the dishes, woman.
Cinderella. It's almost your turn.
Shh. Not supposed to tell her.
I know. Anyway. Alright, so I'll feed it again before I go to bed tonight. Do I need to do any discard or just feed it?
What do you mean discard?
You're supposed to like take some out and, right? You're supposed to take some out, get rid of it, and then put more in.
Maybe that's why my starter didn't live so long. Maybe I just did everything wrong. I don't know.
Hold on. I'll see what Mitzi says. Maybe she'll hit me up on Messenger and tell me.
Because I seem to always remember giving it water. I don't know.
It's been a minute.
Not water.
So.
Well, I mean, it's been
a year at least.
A year at least.
Yeah. Since you did it. So, but anyway. Later, Paul. Have a good one. Thanks for coming by. I don't know. I'm kind of waiting to see if she's gonna type off something.
I don't think.
Hopefully, Jason will be back next week. He's having ever since his ER visit last week, we're still kind of navigating the waters on what's going on with his nerve pain. He took the prednisone, he finished it out, and it seemed like it was doing okay. And so the live starts at 7 because I never got notifications. 7 o'clock Central Time, yes. 8 o'clock Eastern. Let's see. I do half a cup starter, half a cup water, half a cup flour. Okay. Or 1 cup flour, I'm sorry. Okay, that's what I'll do. They would form a bowl in the flour, carried in a flour sack, and put the starter in it. They would form a bowl in the flour, carried in a flour sack, and then put the starter in it. Huh. That's interesting. Pretty neat.
And
Well, give them the opportunity
Yeah.
to feed it and do with it. So
just have like a whole entire flour sack full of stuff.
So that's what we'll do. We'll go ahead and feed it again tonight and see what it does. Yeah. Go ahead and take that in there. Guys, we're gonna go ahead and call it an evening. Make skillet bread with the discard. Well, there won't be much discard. I mean, there isn't even half a cup.
I was about to say, there's probably not even half a cup here.
There might be half a cup in there. Hope he feels better. You might want to try yeah, I've tried several oils with him, and it just doesn't seem to be doing the trick. There's so much crazy going on. So, well, it was nice seeing everybody. I love seeing some of these older faces coming in to visit. Make sure that you're here next Saturday. We'll be doing this as long as we can. Saturdays at 8 o'clock Eastern, 7 o'clock Central. For all of y'all way out there on the West Coast, like Henry, it's 5 o'clock there. Well, it starts at 5 o'clock. So we love you guys. Thanks for hanging out with us and tolerating the two of us instead of me and Jason. For those of y'all that are channel members that get the after show, we will do a little bit of an after show. I think I'm going to bring Carol on for that. So I will definitely let Jason know that you guys were all checking in on him, and we will see you guys next Saturday. Be sure to be looking for our videos this week. We have quite a lineup coming through. Kim, I don't see. Oh, since Ladessa is here tonight, I just want to say how much she amazes me with how smart she is about all the things homesteading. I'd love you to teach my daughter someday. Well, y'all need, there's your excuse to come down and visit. Just saying. I'm not getting notifications again. I get it. It's so frustrating that we've been putting out 3 videos a week. So go back, check everything. If you haven't seen the videos, we put out the 2 this week, and then we'll have 1 out tomorrow at some point. So we love you guys. Y'all have a good night. And for all of our channel members that get the after show, we will start back up probably in about 10 minutes. So we love you guys, and y'all have a good evening.